You're the best content creator. If you're the best at something, you have mastery, and then the external world goes,
So why did Chester
yo,
kill
that's...
himself?
Huh?
Why did Chester kill himself? Lead singer of Linkin Park.
Did he do it peaking in his career?
On the way down.
No, he does it when he won everything, and he doesn't know who he is anymore. When he's hungry.
Right, you could easily argue there's something clinical because there's nothing external that would be pushing that. So that's
If it's clinical, you think it's chemicals, right? Chemical imbalance?
correct.
Okay.
In extreme cases, I'm
Okay,
talking about like,
sure.
like these are rare cases.
No, I think it's a spiritual thing, because look at this. You love your mom?
Yes,
Is that just dopamine chemical, or is there a spiritual component?
there's a spiritual component.
Okay, but you said it's chemicals for
And
everything.
but I'm saying my brain's working
So
correctly.
is there
in
a
the sense of
spiritual
that.
component to depression? Because it's feelings.
Depends.
Like you're-
In most cases, no. In most cases, no. I believe a lot of people say they're depressed if they're lazy, if they're not pursuing something, if they're stagnant, if they're not on the way to where they want to be. Then absolutely, it's more in their
That's
head.
exactly
It's more
it.
in their
If
head.
they're not in their
Correct.
self-individuation
Agreed.
process.
I agree, but there are exceptions to the rules, like most things.
But it's not chemicals.
I mean, why? Then what's an antidepressant? Is it a placebo pill then?
I mean, we can get into that, but at the core, you must believe in God. Like Alcoholics Anonymous, do you know they don't prescribe you shit? What is the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous?
That's based off religion, though.
But why don't they go to science?
I mean,
The first step
has
of
a 4%.
Alcoholics Anonymous, they don't tell you trust the science and shit. They say you need to believe in a higher power. You need to go back to God, church, mosque.
AA has a 4% success rate.
But why is their first?
4%?
Why is their first step not antidepressants? Why is it God?
Because not everyone is depressed while they're drinking. That's not always the reason why. Addiction is also a different component than depression as well. They are tied, they are close, but they are also separate parts of the brain. I've actually studied this.
I genuinely believe if you focus on your relationship with God.
Really? See, I wouldn't use God in particular. I would say like whatever your,
But hold on,
your
hold
job.
on. What is
your
God? What is God?
A higher power,
God
a massive spiritual entity.
G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer? No, don't look at it like that. God is all goodness pyramiding up. You believe in goodness in the world?
Absolutely.
It pyramids
I believe
to
people
a
are
point.
inherently good.
When you believe all goodness pyramids to one point, you have faith that you'll get through it. But if you don't have faith, you will jump off that bridge.
I can't just sit there and say that we're going to use religion to the reason of why we're tying something down. I'm not going to say that this person
It
is
doesn't have
depressed
to be
because you don't
religion.
believe in God. Okay, so
Just faith.
Right.
Faith in.
I would say faith in something is I would say I agree with that. Faith in something is a massive component.
Well, it has to be God. It can't be the universe. Every girl.
I say God. I believe in God.
Those girls in LA who have crystal balls and they just believe in higher power of the universe. And
Right.
They all cut their wrists and kill themselves.
There's just some that do. What's up, Jack?
All right.
Yesterday, bro. All right, so
The truth is,
I low-key saved your life yesterday.
if Aaron didn't have a stream, who the fuck would
that's
he
a
be?
great question. I'd
you'd be
be a
very
heroin
depressed.
dealer. I literally say I would sell heroin.
So it's-
no. If I wasn't a streamer, but I am.
Because your identity is that you're a streamer, right?
Yes, correct. I was using it as a reference.
Does confidence come from inside or outside?
Inside, but the external is the basis of where it will be formed from.
Whoa. Damn. I asked 1,000,000 people, they got it wrong.
What was that?
Explain what you mean.
Well, what I mean by that is like how you feel about the outside is going to be linked to your inside. So if you're like, obviously I look like shit, I didn't take a shower, but I'm saying I got other things that I'm confident in. That's why I walk outside wearing this. Because I know that I'm me.
Right, but you're, again, that's blurring, that's muddying the waters.
I'm blurring.
All confidence comes from the external, nothing from within you. For example, I can't just be confident in being a black belt in karate, but if I train for 4 years
You know
and
you
my
are that.
when my dojo has to recognize me.
Correct.
When the community says you're a black
That's why they
belt,
give you belts.
when your sensei, that's from the outside. That
Right.
black belt didn't come from
But
inside.
you might have had to use your inside, whatever you want to deem it as, to work out to learn how to get to a black belt. We're talking about
that's
the elite
faith.
top of the cap.
That's faith again. It's always back to God. You had faith, you'll get a black belt. You spend 4 years, and then your community says,
So there's no
here, be
atheist-
confident with this black belt. You can kick now.
There's no atheist that's ever became successful. Is that what we're saying? Then?
No, with the devil, you can go way up. But
I mean,
check it out.
How do you know that? So if you're not openly Satanist, then where's the line of religion?
Well, you don't have to be a Satanist, right? Like, the opposite of God is not really the devil. It's negation of God. It's not even thinking
So
about
you
it.
believe that if someone doesn't inherently believe in God, that person is worshiping the devil or on the devil's side.
I think if you don't believe in God,
You're setting yourself up for a devil-filled lifestyle.
if you don't believe in God, you're in a waiting room till one of your family members gets old and dies. You
And then
want
you pray
to
over him.
no. You want to have God to deal with that process. If you lose someone you love, and you're an atheist,
Yes.
there's no faith that things get better.
I don't know if
you will
everyone-
just be in despair forever.
I don't-
Like, think about it. If some mom lost 4 of her kids in a car crash, would you ever grab her and say, "There's no God"?
I believe that it's such a small percentage of the population where we're being exceptions to the rule. It's like, I don't want to write them off, but there are just some people that aren't going to get right. So I almost would say that 99% of people, even if they don't inherently outwardly admit it, do believe in a higher power or God.
You're
That's
saying,
what I would
like,
say.
stuck in an ocean on a raft, there's
Correct.
no atheist.
Well, he wouldn't be an atheist then.
Or when the airplane starts turbulence,
Right.
everyone's like,
Lose
"Oh
the
God,
race.
oh God."
Yeah, correct.
But check
That's
this out.
external.
Every intellectual throughout history, thousands of years, they all agreed that the only difference from a human and an animal is recognizing God.
That's an extreme take.
What,
Because you
what,
can't
what
prove the
animal? What animal would worship?
I mean, you can't prove the thought process of an animal, though. So it's like, what
Or
animal?
how about this? How about this? The difference from an animal and a human is shame.
That's another extreme take. I don't believe
Do
animals
dogs feel
have
shame?
No.
You guys
Yes,
are
they do.
about
They
way
do.
Where do- no, hold on. Do dogs feel shame?
They do feel shame.
No.
When they don't get their treat, they get hit. That lets them know the owner is.
They get
tell them
hit. That's
that.
fear,
Yeah, the owner's putting fear.
not shame.
You're right. He couldn't feel shame technically.
Only humans feel shame, not animals.
But to separate that as the core element of what is depression, to have that be like, all right, well, this is what's making this. This is what's separating that. That's like crazy.
If the only component that separates man from beast is God, then you know you're made in God's image. That dog don't know it's naked.
It just feels like there's a narrative behind what you're saying. It doesn't feel as like spiritually organic as I believe it probably is. Like you're
That
more
dog
like
doesn't know he's naked.
Yeah, only humans know they're naked. They feel shame, right?
No.
unless you got a
It's
big
'cause
ass
the dog
dick.
has fur and his balls face downwards. So you
No, the
can't-
dog doesn't feel shame. That's why it humps people
All right,
without
let's
consent.
go back to Zherka. I mean to Actionman and heel bike.
Okay. Anyways, that was the value for the kids.
I say you guys-
never kill yourself. God loves you.